Hello, Miss Reema Poddar. I'm Dr. Sibi.
How are you, Sibi sir?
Oh, fine. Everything is okay, I think. Yeah.
I know.
Very good. കുറച്ച് നാളായിട്ട് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. ഏതാണ്ട് ഇത് നല്ല ദിവസം തന്നെ നമുക്ക് നടത്താൻ പറ്റും.
I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving that opportunity.
Okay. All well there?
Yeah, everything is fine. Everything is fine. ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പം 9 മണി. It's going to be 9 o'clock.
Okay. We are starting our day actually.
I know.
Okay. Anita Miss is here. She is here. Anita Miss. Professor Anita Miss is here.
I think she'll join.
Join.
So we shall start exactly by 10:30.
Shall we call the principal or?
I have called. Principal will join right now. Hayati, you are there, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Father.
I think we can start. Principal is there.
Good morning. Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Reema.
Welcome to this session. For those of you just
Good morning.
joining us, you're welcome. My name is Hayati Khan, a proud Swasti member at SH College, Tegra.
I think it's not coming out clear.
Hayati is not clear. Come near to the mic.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible now?
It's not that better, but try once more and then we'll start. Hayati, you start. I think she is not there. Okay, fine. Start.
Stopping by the shimmering shores of time, musing on the timeless truth sublime. Seek aside a gleam on flaming wings, sacred heart, the soul planted saints. Blessed are we on this praising shore, blissfully gleaning pearls of lore. Pilgrims on these pastures green, seeking joy in dance unseen. Sacred heart, couple of light, shine on bright, abiding heart. Sacred heart, shrine of light, shine your beams, make us one and heart.
Aditi, please unmute yourself and you can start.
Yeah. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for the disruption earlier. So, good day and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Harry, a proud SH member at SH College. Confluence series that was put forward by the Physics Alumni Association of Art, PASH, will be able to tell the kind of job opportunities available for our graduates. Students will be able to gain insight on the job market as viewed from the perspective of someone who is from the same. In fact, getting to know alumni is a great way of networking, especially if they're taking the career path that you are interested in. The second series of Confluence, organized by Ash and Swasti, presents this webinar to you. Let's begin this program with a prayer.
Aditi, we already had the prayer when you were not around. I think you can continue.
Sure, sir. To give us the opening remarks for this program, may I now call on one of our distinguished faculty, Mr. Robbie Cherian, coordinator of PASH. Mr. Robbie is an assistant professor for the Department of Physics. He is actively involved in organizing and managing training programs, field monitoring, and supportive supervision. He is equally involved in teaching research activities, just as he is busy with training activities. Sir.
I'm very happy to see everyone here. Without much delay, because the students are having the class, we need to wind up in 1 hour. I wish everyone a very happy morning and a Women's Day greetings to all wonderful women out there in the meeting. So I welcome Reema ma'am, our dear principal, dear HOD, who are actively behind all these programs which is taking place due to the, even though in spite of the COVID pandemic. And I'm very happy to see that all the students, more than 100 are right now here. And with this short introduction, I just welcome each one of you to this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words. We now have the presidential address by the Dr. Prashant Palakapalli, who is undoubtedly one of the driving forces for the enthusiasm that we have built amongst us.
Am I to speak now? Good morning, everyone, and a warm namaskaram to all of you on this wonderful day. And I congratulate the physics department for their long planning, finally realizing, because I think last 4 or 5 months, I think they've been trying to get Reema on this platform, and they were very, very enthused when they came to know that she was listed among the top 100 businesswomen or accomplishers, that she was. And equally proud I am too, because I belong to this locality. And I came to know that she was our student, and moreover, maybe I have not seen her before, but her sister had been my classmate from kindergarten to class 4, and we are still in touch after a long break. So that appears really, really good and fantastic. So we are glad that one of our alumni is doing really well. There are many who do well. Most of them are doing well. But to stand out and be a beacon of light to others is a great thing. And especially when a woman is able to establish oneself in that manner, also in I don't say alien country, but in a country not of one's origin, that shows the mettle of the person, and also the possibility that lies within each of us is a few, both men and women, but especially women, as we celebrate Women's Day. So I really congratulate Reema for this, and I hope that you will continue to associate with the department as well as with the college, and see to it that the college also grows thanks to your inspiration and also your support. Secondly, to all others gathered here, especially the physics students and the faculty, I'm very glad to be on this platform. I really feel greatly enthused when I come to this platform because of the very concept you brought in. Confluence, that means Sangamam. And we know that Sangamam is where different streams join together and creating a holy place. So coming together of differences is really making something refined. I wouldn't say holy is a more of a religious or a spiritual term, which is not a bad thing. I really appreciate that. I belong to that clan. But all the same, to be put in a more secular fashion, the coming together of differences should refine us. That our angularity is getting more refined thanks to the interaction, and old and young, uh, men and women, teachers and students, parents and teachers, all of them coming together is confluence here. And I think that confluences should happen, and Sangamam should happen. A dip in that would make us refined and better persons. And I wish the very best on this day. It is not fair on my part to prolong. I hope that there will be many more occasions. And I also request Reema in a special way to support us to build our alumni network in the US, especially starting with, I hope you're in California, starting with that. We already have some network, minimally though, in Florida, in Chicago, and in New York and Washington. So we can build somewhere in the western side of the United States as well. So we look forward to your support in this regard as well. We feel really proud of you, and I wish all of you gathered here, especially the women, the very best on this, beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the inspiration. I invite Dr. C.B. Matthew, HOD of Physics, for the felicitation.
Respected Principal Dr. Prashant Palakapalli, Honorable Chief Guest, Ms. Reema Poddar, Dr. Anita Philip, PASH representative, coordinator of the Confluence Series, Dr. Robi, coordinator of Swati, Ms. Princy Moll, my dear teachers and students. My warm greetings from Sacred Hearts. Also, my best wishes and greetings to all women on this Women's Day. I am very happy to be part of this function to congratulate Ms. Reema Poddar. She passed out in 1987 from our physics department. And I have the opportunity to talk to her a few weeks back. I also talked to her favorite teacher, Ramadan sir. And from the interaction, I felt that she is so simple and humble a person and keeps very fondling memories of SH. We are proud of you, Ms. Reema. You will be a real motivation to our budding students to pursue higher studies abroad. In spite of all her achievements, to my wonder, I could see that she speaks very good Malayalam. And although being her origin in Gujarat, she in all aspects she's a hello. She's has a Malayali look, and she fondles good memories of her studies at SH. And she has offered all her support and promotion for the Department of Physics. My congratulations and best wishes to Ms. Reema, and all my students and the community is eagerly waiting for your motivational talk. Thank you. Have a nice day.
May I intervene without seeking permission? I also would like to salute and appreciate the efforts of Swasti, because I realize that this is being jointly organized, and all the good works being done in a consistent manner by Swasti for our campus, especially on this day. Thank you.
I think you're muted. You please unmute yourself and then speak.
Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Father. We now have Dr. Anieta Philip, who is a current faculty at the Cochin College since 1996. She is an associate professor in physics. Dr. Anieta has completed her PhD at and went on to do her MPhil at STAP MGO. Ma'am, if you may.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, for the nice introduction. Respected Principal Father Prashant Kapile, my good friend Reema, staff members of the Department of Physics, team members, alumni members and students, one and all. First of all, let me thank the coordinators for giving me this opportunity to introduce my dear friend, Mrs. Reema Poddar. We were at SH for 5 years, during 1982 to 84 for the pre-degree course and for 84 to 87 for the B.Sc Physics course. We have fond memories of our college and all our dear relatives of the Department of Physics and other departments. Our mentor, Professor Ramana, a fatherly figure for us, is well remembered of us. I have much to say about Reema and her. I'll try to be as brief as possible in the time allotted to me. Reema has dual master's degree. She took MSc in physics from CMS College, Kottayam, MCA from BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. Reema Poddar is a strategic global digital transformation leader with more than 26 years of experience in the software industry. She has led massive digital and cultural transformation, big publicly trading US-based companies such as electric company, Teradata, and US-based startup. She is a proven technologist, innovator, and advisor to technology startups and universities in USA. She is served as the Executive Vice President and Chief Product and Technology Officer of Teradata. She is the first woman Chief Product and Technology Officer of this public company. Poddar was instrumental in leading this company's ambitious cloud transformation. Community, Reema has been a mentor for women engineers and technologists and has dedicated her time to philanthropic. She encourages and works with young women to consider and pursue a career in STEM and technology roles and promotes diversity and inclusion by supporting women's networks. She is an honored public speaker. She holds several prestigious customer, business, technology, and leadership awards at the companies she has served. Reema is currently the board of directors and settled with her family in San Diego, California. Her notable public awards are I'm listing only a few. In 20, she was included into the top 100 Asian American Hall of Fame, along with some of the world's renowned leaders like Indra Nooyi, Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, and Arvind Krishna. In 2020 again, she was honored with the top 50 California Diverse Leaders Award. She was named in the top 50 most powerful women in technology in America by the US National Diversity Council and honored US President Mr. Barack Obama. In 2020, Poddar was honored by the San Diego Business Chamber's leadership for her business impact and progressive technology achievements. In 2018, the most popular and renowned magazine, San Diego Magazine, recognized her in the top 5 of these most powerful female leaders, and she was featured in the page of the magazine. In 2015, she was a proud recipient of the Edison Award for the New Product Innovation, Healthcare Industrial Internet of Things, honored by Elon Musk, the world-famous technology entrepreneur and philanthropist. In 2014, she was honored with the Diagnostic and Intervention Cardiology Award for leading and building the most innovative technology solution for cardiovascular intervention labs. I am sure the path to success was not an easy one. Achieved all these through dedicated hard work and commitment, of course, with the strong support of our family. We are proud and thank you for being the same simple, approachable and friendly person you are still now. Students, don't miss this opportunity to interact with a successful woman and be motivated. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening introduction. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our speaker. Reema, ma'am, if you may.
I hope you are able to see the slides. Robbie?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. We are living in a world, and it's the most extraordinary times that is marked in human history. We have no idea how changes are happening so fast. Sometimes we don't even realize how powerful we have become as a human race. We have more access to world's
Remember,
information.
I think. Okay, it's fine. Actually, there was a break in between, so I thought there's a network issue. It's fine.
We have
Okay.
access to world's information more than ever in the history of humankind. We have more computational power that the nation's head has ever seen decades back. Many futurists, technologists, innovation, artists, entrepreneurs state that we are going to be making history with the power of technology, not in 50, not in 40, not in 30, or not in 20 years. It more looks like we are going to do it in this decade. As a humankind, we are very curious. We are looking for creativity. We are looking for challenges. And the famous Moore's law is really helping us reimagine things in a very different way. We are so blessed to be living in this era of industrial revolution where there is opportunity everywhere. You just need to be curious. You just need to be looking for those purpose. You just need to be active in a community so that it becomes purposeful. What you're trying to do, make an impact not just for the society today, but for the future generation to come. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and my pleasure to be sharing this event with all of you. I'm deeply honored and humbled for having been given this opportunity at the school that I had grown as a teenager, had lots of fun, and there are many, many memorable rewards, and I would say dreams that we all formed as a classmate of 1984 to 87 batch. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Principal of Sacred Heart College, Dr. Prashant Palakal. You know, he was saying, yes, he was my senior and obviously my sister's batchmate. So it's so nice to see you, sir, you know, leading this big institution with a lot of vigor that you have brought in. Thank you, Dr. Sibi Matthews, the head of Department of Physics, Dr. Robbie Cherian, who is the past coordinator and who had the pleasure to talk to several times over the time of weeks and months. Thanks to my dear friend Anita for being so kind, introducing me. I'm the same old person, as she said. I don't know, I've just been lucky to be where I am, truly. That's I'm saying from my bottom of my heart. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee of PASH and Swasti, the women's cell of Sacred Hearts College. Before I go into the topic that's very close to my heart and sharing my lessons learned, I'll remiss if I don't give my gratitude to my teachers of 1984 to 87, let me take this opportunity on behalf of my friends of CMS College, BSc Physics, to express our gratitude to our teachers, Professor Ramanathan sir, Varadarajan sir, then the principal, Archangal Matai sir, late Chakuni sir, M.A. Kurian sir, Jose P. John sir, Jolly Luco sir, George Phillips sir, and Paulson sir. These are individuals who really gave us the unconditional guidance and we put up with all the silliness that we collectively as a batch were up to. Those were really memorable days. And I would like to specifically thank all of the coordinators who have behind the scenes worked to make this event run smoothly. Thank you. Today is the Women's Day. It is widely celebrated across the globe as the International Women's Day. How many of you know that the women's movement in India started way before our independence, 1947? Yes, before we got independence from the British. Thank God. We had some great courageous men and women who were progressive thinkers who identified there is a gap when it comes to equality. They fought for women's equality. They had a purpose, bringing equality and to empower women to uplift other women. Bhagilakshmi Poddar, or then Bhagilakshmi Naidu, was born in Ooty in 1947 to a Telugu-speaking parents who were very hardworking. She was beautiful, courageous, curious, ambitious, hardworking, and resilient. She had all the characteristics that one would say in these eras that needed to be a leader, to be successful in their career. She was not born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She was ambitious, she was courageous, she was a learner, looking forward to make a life of her own. Little did she know, when she was in the 8th grade, she was asked to quit college and school. She was remembering about going to college, obviously, didn't happen. She had to quit going to school when she was in the 8th grade to look after her young sibling, her sister, while her mother went to the nearby tea factory for packaging to learn and to get a living of their own. So around 1970, the women's movement, the momentum really started picking up. By then, this young teen had already found her love of her life. She found this young, smart human being who was almost 17 years older to her, who hailed from West Bengal, the East India. We call it colloquially as the North India. Those days, this was a social taboo. Somebody who liked someone from the northern part of India, totally different dialect, speaking different language, different tradition altogether. She was courageous. All she was thinking about is starting her destiny. She was following that destiny of starting a family. She had 2 kids, 2 daughters. Remember, she couldn't give any career advice. She made her house, her family, as a classroom. She sat in front of the table as the head of the table, and she would sometimes give lectures and share her viewpoints. A couple of them were, if I remember correctly, be bold, be independent, be kind, be helpful. Be courageous. Face the adversities. Help other women to be with like you. Grow together. Help each other. Remember, she couldn't give us career advice, but what she really instilled in me and my sister was those values. Along the side was this progressive thinker. He's Arvind Poddar, my dad, who really believed in investing in women, liberating in women. There was a concept or a word which never came in his dictionary: discrimination. It never existed for him. He taught us to be kind, to be respectful of every job you see around, any job and any kind. Honor that. And that true values kept us going. Today, I really remember my dad, who is no more, my mom, who might be listening, those courageous words, something that she told me then was to be an independent woman. Don't think about the title. Think about any job, but be independent. So there was a purpose. For everyone, there should be a purpose. For me, it was something very different. At the age of 7 or 8, I was in the second grade. Maybe it's not even 7 years then. My dad had 4 strokes in a day. That was something that as a small kid, I could never forget. I saw my mom, who could barely even speak English those days, who was just 26 or 27 years old, giving us all the courage and facing the adversaries that had faced her then, thinking about whether her loved one was going to survive. I, as a young child, then made up my mind that I need to be a doctor and I need to serve the underrepresented groups of people who did have money, was not financially well off. And the reason why this was really close to my heart, I saw my dad in a ward along with 50 or 30 people. I still remember vividly. Everyone struggling to pay their bills, getting the right care. And this is in the Madras Central Hospital. So little did I know at that time, you need to have a purpose to fulfill your dream, to find that happiness in your career. I want to take a moment before we dive deep into my career journey, looking back at all the industrial revolutions that has happened, and we have all gone through, not all of them, some of it. So the first industrial revolution started in the 18th century in Europe and North America, where we invented steam engine. In the second industrial revolution, around late 1800s or 1914 or so, we invented oil, we invented steel, we invented electricity and combustion engine. The third industrial revolution, the big revolution or the industrial revolution happened was around the late 1980s. Personal computers came into existence. The World Wide Web came into existence. The internet came into existence. For many of you listening here today, this might sound very historically, really, because you're so used to being on all the time. But this was something really new for folks of my age and some of our teachers who are listening to all this. The fourth industrial revolution happened around 21st century. And that's something that we are going through even now. Artificial intelligence came into play, big data, cryptocurrency, bitcoins, blockchain, edge computing, Internet of Things, industrial internet, you name it. Everything started in a big wave. We are now living through the fifth industrial revolution, an era where the frontier technologies are coming together to really deliver purpose and inclusivity. That's something very key and critical. What we're really focused on right now, how can we use all the intelligence to deliver a good convenience, a good life, create sustainable energy for not just for us, for the future to come. We are actually going to the space. We will eventually, as you all know, Blue Origin, SpaceX, all are coming to existence. We will. The young generation is going to see it. You will be fortunate to look at it and maybe experience it as well. So the blog that I showed you on the third, industrial revolution is of high importance in my life. And let me take you to that journey. So as Anita mentioned, I did my master's of physics, wanted to be a doctor, couldn't get it through that because, we didn't own a property then. And when I fared my entrance exam and I got the rank, I was qualified. But since my parents did not own a property or a land, those days, I didn't qualify as a citizen at that point in time, of Kerala. Long story short, I'm so fortunate that I pursued the Masters of Computer Applications degree. And that's because of my good friend, Sash, who's my batchmate, who happened to come home. And that's around the time that I was thinking, what's next for me? Should I take PhD, and go from there? Absolutely fine. But then those were the time that, the computers came into play. The third industrial revolution was happening. Little did I know anything about those revolutions then. All I knew, there was a lot of computer, coaching classes and certification classes and whatnot. There was some hinge that this is going to really overturn certain things for us. So as I was speaking to Sash when he came home with my parents, he was actually pursuing masters in computer applications. And he basically told me about some of the aspects of it. It got very intrigued. The only thing I knew is I have to go and start learning typewriting, because I thought, and I strongly believed, that fast typing will make me a fast coder. So it is so funny that then that's the only thing I knew, because I've never touched a computer. The first time I touched the computer was when I was doing my Masters of Computer Applications in BMS College of Engineering, and Sash was my senior then. Two main things happened in my career or in my lifetime. One, a career opportunity and a turn by taking Masters in Computer Applications. The second, I meet my lifelong partner, Arvind Krishna, who's happened to be a Malayali. We met in that college. And I would say that I'm so fortunate to have him, because I wouldn't be where I am today if not for the sacrifices he took. So on a Women's Day, I do thank every man who's listening on this in supporting their parents or supporting their moms, sisters, friends. And thank you for being a progressive thinker. And thank you for being part of this journey for women. You truly need a lot of men who really support you to get successful in your career and your life. So I started my career in a company called Satyam Computers, where I got the opportunity to be a software engineer. Some of the things that you're seeing in this presentation is my lessons learned. Some of the things that I didn't have as an individual, and I had to grow there into that. So when I was a software engineer, the first thing that came to me was, how do I really get better at the job that I'm doing? So we all, coming from a physics background with math and, maths and physics and all that, you basically wired, really think differently. You want to know how everything works. So that was a big thing for me. And so I actually had an open mind to learn things. The other was one of the seniors that I was working with was a very smart individual. And he gave me a piece of advice. Even if you're given the smallest work, try to make the best out of it. Be creative. Make advancements. Take it one step forward. What I gathered from that was continuous improvement. Be open to change. Have a customer mindset. Look at who are you building this for? Whether it's in computers, whether you're a finance, you're an accountant, you're a lecturer, you're a doctor, engineer. One key component you are doing is you're trying to serve somebody in some shape or form. And that service that you're trying to render has to be well thought out. You need to know who are you trying to serve? Who are those people who are really wanting to reuse something that you're building? So fast forward, a senior software engineer, I want to just take a little bit of a time to let you know a funny incident that happened. As I was working through as a senior engineer, I was given twice the opportunity to become a technology manager. I was not courageous. I didn't think I had in it me the skills to really lead a team, lead senior members. How could that be? I couldn't fathom ever that how can I go and advise or help folks who are smarter than me, intelligent than me, senior than me, experienced than me. Little did I know that I had that strength within. So that was the two opportunity I had. The third opportunity came in when, again, one of my boss was going on a maternity leave, and she called me aside and said, why don't you look into this opportunity? And again, I gave it a lame excuse. And this was when I was in US working for a startup. And I said that, I just started, I just started my family. I got married, and we're thinking about actually starting a family. What a lame excuse, because I was still not confident about myself. Thank goodness, the fourth time it came in, I basically went to few of my confidants and my mentors there, which are indirectly mentor me, and asked them, what do you think about this opportunity? Should I be taking this? And Bob Gendron then, it was a fine gentleman, told me that, there are two things you need to think about. Managing a team or becoming a leader is a totally different responsibility. You would have to learn net new skills to really drive and lead and produce results for a company. And it's a pretty heavy thing. You have been a technologist, all you're focusing on is technology. So I think it's your choice. I'm so glad that he gave me the two directive paths, and he gave the onus on me to decide to take which one. So I went to my manager and spoke to him, and I said, I'm willing to take it, and I think it's a great opportunity. But in a month or 2 months, if I don't like it, can I get back to the individual contributor role? And my manager said, absolutely, don't even worry, you can. And I never looked back. And he had the confidence in me that, I could do it. And you would ask why? And what I really found at that point, and I quote it here as recognize your strength. Sometimes you will not recognize the strength that you have. It others who see and who understand, and who will tell you what is your strength. So keep an open mind, understand your strength, use that strength to really move forward. Fast forward, few things in General Electric, GE was a great school for me. I got all the opportunity to really play different roles, different segments, oil and gas, power and water, transportation, aviation, healthcare, you name it. The only reason I could do that is because I learned how to take risks. And there were several folks who really believed in me, trusted in me, allowed me to do that. I became courageous, saying that you don't have to be 100% sure of anything before you take a step. If you are confident and if you're a curious learner, just go with it. Take it. Nobody in this world knows everything 100%. So do what you can and have the confidence to face the adversaries. The world that we are living right now is only happening because of collaboration. No one person knows it all. It's the diverse thoughts, the thought process that brings us all together. Fast forward, I would say some of the greens that you're seeing specifically, showcases the functions or maybe some of the functions I led, which I did not have prior experience. So as an engineering leader, I was leading multiple products, almost close to 50 product lines, close to $1 billion at that point in time for technology. Before technology manager, I was only owning a product, maybe close to 50 million at that point in time. As an executive director, I got the opportunity to come back to my country as an expat for 3 years. That was one of the amazing journey as a family we had. My son was just in the 3rd grade at that point in time, and we spent 3 years there. One of the things that the challenge I took when I came to India, when I joined, I was the first women technologist and the technology leader to really run an organization of almost close to 5,000 engineers and technologists. They've never been led by a woman. And India, in Hyderabad, I have walked in a lot of great people. I am wondering, there are other peers who are men, working with me in Bangalore, in Hyderabad. Nobody is calling, picking up the phone and calling or connecting. So after a month, I gathered the courage. I picked up the phone, I called, and I just introduced myself and I said, I'm the newbie in town. I really need your help and your support to be successful in this role. So, can we have a cup of coffee? Or maybe we have a video conference. This takes somebody like me, who is actually really shy at heart. You wouldn't believe that. But this is the courage and the strength. And it's a very different mold that as you progress, you gain. I'm glad that I was courageous enough to become or get out of my uncomfortableness, call them. And all it took is me to call them and connect to them. They were all so progressive. They came back. They actually helped me. I had a phenomenal opportunity. The second challenge I took upon for myself at that point in time was every time an expat assignment gets over, which is lasts around 3 years, a new person from US would actually go to lead the team. One of the challenges I took upon myself was that, why is it so? Why do you really need a leader from US to come and lead a team in India when you have the brightest mind there, when you have the potential, when you have the people out there? And I took one step further and I wanted to actually have a successor who's a woman who would lead this organization for me. And I'm so glad that I would find somebody within the organization, Saujanya, who is now leading the entire organization there, and even more. We have grown almost close to, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 now. So the reason why I'm sharing the story is, share your challenges, make a community that will really help you grow, bounce off ideas. You don't really have to have a direct mentor, but look up to role models. Indra Nooyi is my role model. I always look at her and say, geez, how did she get there where she is? I think you can read a lot of articles. You can actually find different pathways for yourself. One thing it's for sure is your career is not going to be in the same title, in the same position for a long time. Anyway, I think You know, I can go on for hours on this one, but in the interest of time, let me make sure I would give you some advice or some experience that I have gone through and how you should do something differently, which I didn't do. So I did talk about we are all always on, and this is just a simple example of how we are using social networking, how communication is mobilized, how retails and transformed, you know, how entertainment has become digitized. No more are we listening, we don't have those bulky radios. We still have it in some cases because we want to keep that memory. We don't need a video recorder. We don't need a tape recorder. We don't need those cassettes and videotapes. Everything is digitally accessible for you. All change happening at the same time, delivering the convenience for all of you. So there is no excuse these days for us to say that I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You can go it with the fingertips. You can actually go listen to news. You can actually get information around the web in less than a millisecond if possible. So as a career, as your career is shaping up, do you plan or do not? I would say with my experience, I was just lucky to have landed where I have. But this is an era that you're living in. You have to put in some effort to plan. This is a small framework. I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but making you see how you can actually plan for the future. Know your values, very, very important. This is something that you will take throughout your career journey as a human being, not just in career, but as you mature, as you lead life. Know your interests, know your strengths, know your personality. And the personality, your friends will tell you what your personality is. Ask for constructive criticism, something that is very, very key as an individual for you to grow. I used to hate when people used to say something to me when I was in that beginning stage of my career, software engineer. All I focused was doing the best I can, but I couldn't take criticism. I've really come out of that as I've grown through my career. And now every time when I do something, when I create something, when I deliver something, the first thing I ask everyone is, what did I do wrong? How could I have done better? I think you grow as an individual by knowing that. And it's very, very important that you go through as that individual journey, not just career. Explore your options. There are so many industrial trends I spoke to you about. You know what's going on in the world right now. It's just about that purpose and the opportunity that you're trying to glow in. Do your research. There are different paths you can take. There are different work environments. Use, a principal was talking about alumni. You have such a great alumni now. Reach out to people. Ask them. Get connected. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Ask for, everybody would help you. There is everyone we have gone through where we have to go to the library to get more information, dust some of the books. You don't have to do that these days. You have so much information at your hands right now. Plan your action once you get all these things, and then go back and create your future. And it's very important. This will not come to you easy. You have to spend some time, think about it, come up with a couple of options. That will help you in the long run. And besides that, there are 3 key steps that you would need to take to be successful, not just in your career, in your life. One is be open and be ready for change. Be adaptable. Embrace that experience, whatever you're gaining right now, and also later, because those experience is going to really make you a better human being, a better person, and can also help you problem solve things in a very different way. And remember one thing, the experience that you learn belongs to you. You can share, but nobody can duplicate it. One has to go through hardship to learn it. And make meaningful connections. You would say, yeah, there is social networking. I have Snapchat, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have so many connections. That's all great. You have online connections? No. What I mean by make meaningful connection is make meaningful personal connections in person. Be very, 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 very mindful about it, because even in this era that we are living in, where it's everything digital, 85% of opportunities come through in-person connections. And it's very, very important for you to not be shy, go approach a person and ask their help, or maybe ask their advice in something that you want to do. This will take you a long way. So the future is definitely brighter than you think. It's not going to come easy. Hard work, curiosity, be a lifelong learner, be humble, and have the humility. That will take you a long way. And definitely no excuse for any of you now to say that I didn't have quite the information I needed. So make an informed decision and finally own it. So we never stop evolving as a human being. Be curious, be an adapter, have that emotional intelligence to sense how to present a case to someone who's in need. At times, crucial conversations are very critical, and having that soft skills to really approach a problem, to empathize, to sympathize with the person really is needed in the world that we are living right now. Whatever job it might be, or maybe, those are some of the soft skills you have to gain, you have to learn to be successful and to be happy in your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. So informative. I'm sure our audience has learned from your trials. A feedback form will be available and has been requested to be filled in by all participants. At this juncture, we will go ahead and take some time for your questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the question box.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, Madam Reema Poddar. I am Payas from Physics Department. It was really nice listening your talk and your journey and your track. It was really amazing, and I believe all our students and faculty, all of them will be really inspired, and they will also take up challenges in their life and to come up great in life. It was really nice. Thank you very much. Now I
Thank you
have
so much.
a query. Madam, can you please share some situation? Today, since we are having International Women's Day, so it would be nice if you can share some experience where you have experience in India as well as in the US. So in your track, just because you are a woman, you had some challenges.
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you. Please.
Sure. I think it's a great question. And I'd be as transparent as candid possible. So in the beginning of my career, when I was in Satyam Computer, I got several opportunity to really work on projects. And one time I remember this startup company from US, which is Boston-based company, came looking for, giving us the opportunity to work on a project. Those days, it was all about, giving, India, the resources, it's cheaper resources, can get the projects done. So more consultative. And I presented to the, the CEO of the company when they came visiting us in Bangalore. Finally, what happened was we got a lot of good projects, and not because of me, because of the teams that we worked. And while I was actually in US working on a project for Satyam Computers, one of the topmost senior exec of the company in an all hands said he was listing out all the projects that we were doing and said, if not for Reema and her looks, we wouldn't have got this project. I was not there. I was in US at that point in time. But I came to know that such a mention was done. So when I came back, I'm just a software engineer in the first, I think the first journey of the career. That's the initial stage you will get in. But I was very shocked to have heard that. And I was also felt really bad because what about other talented women? Maybe I was not talented. So I went to the courage and I confronted the senior exec, the senior most exec of the company. And I approached him and I said, thank you. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here, work in this company. But I do have something to discuss with you. And I mentioned about what incident happened. And I said, the first thing I asked him is, I just want to know, was I hired for my talent, my skill, or was it something else? That left him awed. He apologized. He was a very fine person, but really did not realize what the repercussion was of making a statement like that, not just for me, but for the women crowd in the company. So what I would say is, I went into his office thinking I would be fired, but if you do not stand up for yourself and others, nobody would. So you have to be that channel and you have to lead it. So that's one of the incidents that happened when I was in India. I really loved the fact that, Paris, you asked me the question, looking at my journey, never think it was a smooth journey. I have faced a lot of adversaries. I've faced a lot of blockings and tackles from many different aspects of the organization. As you move up the career, something that you have to really be aware and mindful about is about yourself. You need to be self-aware of what is your strength and what are your gaps. And how do you really take emotions out of the conversation? And something that I will let you all know, which really has helped me, is a book called Crucial Conversation. Please do read it. There is no age limit for it. You can use that book even to have a meaningful conversation at home. It really tells you about some of how do you really use words to make your points. So when I was the senior most or an officer of a company, there was an incident that had happened where somebody mocked me of my pronunciation. I'm not an American. I'm born Indian. I don't speak like an American. And I did stand up there and I said, I'm sure you didn't mean to, or you didn't intend to say so, but this is how I speak. As long as I convey my message crisply, with clarity, I don't think anyone should be making a mockery out of the situation. So what I'm trying to get to is, it's not because I had a position. It's not because I was the officer of the company. It was because we all live in a diverse world these days. We have to recognize and respect cultural differences. the way we speak, the way we collaborate. And so be courageous, but the way you present the situation needs to be done in a very different way. But if something doesn't, you cannot equate your values, and you cannot really live in a company that the values doesn't correlate with what you're brought up. I think that's an indication for you to then say, I don't think this is the place that I want to work. So what I'm trying to get to is going back to the presentation of know your interests, know your values, know what is very close to your heart, and how as an individual you define yourself takes you a long way. And it's all about purpose. It's all about impact. It's all about how you can give back to the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Reema Poddar. That's really nice. Thanks.
Do we have any more questions? Okay, I believe they don't. So may I now invite Ms. Principal AP to deliver the vote of thanks?
Thank you, Hayati. Good morning to one and all. I'm Principal AP, Joint Coordinator of the Women's Cell of Sacred College, Devara. And today I am here to present vote of thanks for today's beautiful, wonderful session. And first of all, I would like to thank our respected principal, Reverend Father Dr. Prashant Palakapalli, CMI, and his backbone of our college, and his constantly supporting and encouraging SOSTI and alumni associations of various departments with his suggestions and novel ideas. So thank you, Father, for your inspiring words. And today we have an eminent and versatile resource person with us, Reema Poddar. And I believe it's our privilege to have Reema ma'am for sharing her life experiences with us. And in her talk, she predicated about the significance of women empowerment and equality. And the two most striking points I have noticed in her talk was, one is she said no one is 100% perfect in anything, and we should be very open and ready for change, because we won't make excuses to pursue our goals. And ma'am, we are all inspired by your great words. So I, on behalf of Sasti and Pash, Sacred College, Devara, extend my heartfelt thanks to you for enlightening and motivating us with your kind words, and your career journey gave deep insights to the true power of women. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Next, I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Robbie Cherian, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, and coordinator of this program. As we know, an event like this cannot happen overnight, and it requires planning and pain for conducting this program. So he's the master brain behind this program, and he took much of pain and efforts for conducting this program effectively and efficiently. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And next, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. C.B. Matthew, Head of the Department of Physics. He's the mentor for this program and constantly supporting us. And Dr. Anita Philip, PASH representative, working as an assistant professor at Cochin College. And Dr. Gino George, coordinator of SOSTI. Our SOSTI member Hayati, who anchored this program. Thank you all. And I also extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the participants present here for paying your attention and learning. Once again, thanking you all, wishing you a happy Women's Day.
So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Happy Women's Day, everyone.
Happy Women's Day, and thank you to everyone who was a part of this wonderful
दोस्ता हमारा हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी दोस्ता हमारा पर्वत वो सबसे ऊंचा हमसाया आसमां का वो सुंदरी हमारा वो पासबा हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा।
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3
मज़हब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना। हिंदी है हम, हिंदी है हम, हिंदी है हम, वतन है हिंदुस्तां हमारा, हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा। कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, सदियों रहा है दुश्मन दौरे ज़मा हमारा, हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तां हमारा।